Good evening, gentlemen. Today I would like to talk about 3 things that I would like changed in Slay the Spire 2. For the first thing that I'd like to see changed would be the bird quest event. I think that the risk and value judgment of taking a quest should be around the time you have to carry the quest card in your deck and the reward. The bird quest has the shortest time you need to keep the quest card in your deck, but it also has the lowest amount of reward. Instead, it becomes more of a value judgment of whether or not you want to give up a campfire upgrade or just eat the bird egg and gain some max HP. This I don't think is the intent of a quest event, and I would like to see it changed or altered slightly. My recommendation would be to make the bird egg much harder to carry around in your deck. One of the ways you can do this is you could add Ethereal to the card, and when the card exhausts, it gets removed from your deck. This means that you can fail the quest event if you have the card exhaust if you don't play it during your turn. And for this increased difficulty, I think that the bird could also see a similar increase in value. So one of the things you could do with the bird is you could add the Ritual Knife effect from Slay the Spire 1, where if it kills a creature, it gets a slight increase in damage, or there are some other options we could go for. Bird Pip has 4 different hairstyles. Each bird pip could have its own unique effect. One of these could be the mad science effects. So bird pip does some damage and he does weaken vuln. Bird pip hits additional times. Or whenever you play a card this turn, the enemy loses a certain number of HP. I don't know if we want to keep the damage the same for all of these effects, because hitting additional times is quite powerful. If this were to be the 14 damage that Bird Swoop normally has, it might be a little too strong for you to get early on in the game. But I think that having additional effects, making Bird Swoop a more interesting card, I think makes the value judgment of whether you should take the egg much more meaningful. For the second change that I would like to see happen in Slay the Spire 2, I would like to see Orobas Glass Eye and maybe like its position in the Pool 1 relics be changed. I think that card rewards as a ancient bonus feels a little bland. And with how Pool 1 of the Orobas Ancient works, some relic bonuses that you would normally get are very rare, and you almost never see them. Prismatic Gem from Orobas is such a rare relic that you almost never see it. I have almost 400 hours in Slay the Spire 2, and I think I only have 1 Prismatic Gem run. I think that Prismatic Gem should be made much more common, and I think one way you could do that is to move Glass Eye out of the Pool 1 relics into the Pool 3 relics. Pool 3 only has 2 different options in it, so it would make sense for there to be a third option put into Pool 3. But even in Pool 3, I think that card rewards is still a pretty bland boss bonus. I think that I would like to have Glass Eye be reworked into something similar to Pandora's Box or Astrolabe, where you transform cards. You transform your starter cards or just any cards, and instead of just transforming them into other cards from the class, I would like to see them be transformed into cards from another character's card pool. I think that would make Glass Eye a very interesting relic, and much more fun to take. For the third change I'd like to see happen in Slay the Spire 2, I'd like to see Tezkatar's toy box get reworked. It just got buffed again, but I still don't think that this is quite worth taking. So, you get it in Act 2. I don't think Act 2 is the deadliest act. Still, they've buffed one of the elites in Act 2, but I think most of my runs either die in Act 1 or to the Act 3 bosses. And if you're dying to the Act 3 bosses, you don't want a relic that's going to decay over time and is going to make you weaker when you get to the Act 3 bosses. So I think that if you're losing the relic even before you fight your first elite in Act 2, and you're only going to have one relic left by the time you get to the Act 3 bosses, that's like sometimes you're going to have no relics left over because of just how sometimes it works. But I think you should have this work a little bit different. I think one thing you could do is you could have Toy Box give less relics up front, but have something similar to a Black Star effect, where you get an additional wax relic whenever you kill an elite. I think generally in Act 2 and Act 3, I kill about 2 elites per act. So this would give you about 4 relics. And generally, I get to the final fight in about 14 combats, 13 combats. This means that sometimes you're going to burn 5 relics, but you're going to get some fuel from fighting the elites. So it'll turn out kind of similar, maybe, to like the Bell, where you get 3 relics, but without the downside of a curse, but with the downside that the relics you get are going to burn away. So you're going to have maybe some trade-off there, where this could work similar to the Bell, I think, and that might make it interesting. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on these suggested changes, and what changes would you like to see in Slay the Spire 2 on your own? Anyway, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.